Hey everyone, Caront here, welcoming you back to Tales of the Abyss. In the last episode, we made our way through Dio Pass on the way to Akzeriuth, and, well, got into some battles and ended up fighting Lagretta the Quick for the first time. In this episode, we're going to head into Akzeriuth and see if Luke can become the ambassador that he thinks he is. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and head in. Welcome to the mining town, Akzeriuth. And boy, things don't look good at all.
What is this?
This is worse than I imagined.
Hey, Natalia, they're dirty. Get away from them. You might catch something.
What's dirty? What am I going to catch? Don't say such stupid things. Are you all right?
Did you all come from the Kimlaskan side?
I'm Natalia, Princess of Kimlaska. We've come to offer aid at the behest of His Majesty, Emperor Peony.
Ah, a man named Grant told us you'd be coming. My name's Pyro. I'm the local supervisor for the mine here. The mayor fell ill, so I'm handling things in his place.
Where are Dorian General Grants and the rescue team?
Grant is inside the mine. He's attempting to rescue our companions who collapsed there.
It looks like the miasma isn't quite as thick here as by the Fubris River.
Apparently, it's pretty bad inside the mine.
Let's take a look around out here, then head for the mine. Luke!
Huh? Oh, right.
So we pretty well have our mission. There's not very much to see here in Akzeriuth. In fact, there's pretty much nothing at all, really. We can go in a couple of the buildings and see if there's anything we can do, but there's really not a whole lot. One building you will want to go ahead and go in, though, is this one right here, because this is basically where we can talk to people and pick up some treasure. And it is, as it turns out, the only treasure in this area, or at least in Akzeriuth itself. But it's definitely worth picking up because you see it is a lot of healing items, so yeah, you'll definitely want to go about doing that. Otherwise, really all you have to do is just go around and talk to people, and then just head through here, and we can basically talk to more NPCs, as well as, you know, if the beds were open, this could serve as a healing facility, but the beds aren't open right now. We just happened to be here for periodic examinations when that earthquake occurred. We've been doing our best to heal injuries since then, but we can hardly do anything with this lack of facilities and medicine. Yeah, and you see, all these miners are pretty much out cold. Are you also planning to enter Tunnel 14? Even those unaffected by the miasma will begin to suffer from long exposure. I'm worried about the people that entered the tunnel earlier. Please do not overexert yourselves. Alright, so that's really all we can get out of this. I think a door or two down is the area where we actually can stay if you want to heal. I will need to do that. Off camera, I actually resupplied a couple of things because I had told you not to use any rices and then I accidentally used a rice, so I went and got some more. And I also, I think, picked up another couple of healing items, just not very much, really. Alright, so Tunnel 14 is down there. The rescue team's already gone in. Just head down this elevator and it'll be just off to the side. But before we do that, this is actually going to be the inn where you'll want to pick up stuff, so definitely take advantage of it because it's about the only place where you can really do much of anything. If you want to pick up, and you notice we've got some new stuff we can pick up if you want to, I actually will go ahead and pick up a steel sword for Guy and see about equipping him with it and see if it does any good. The rest of them, well, actually, let me get a couple of these too while we're at it. Then, let's see. Alright, well, I need to equip that on Annis, apparently. And then, I think I'm pretty much good to go for the moment. So, while I'm here, go ahead and get all this on here, and it should do us pretty good. Well, not that, but... Alright, the steel sword, yeah, definitely ups his attack. We certainly need that with Guy. Then, obviously, better defense is good as well. Then, let's see. Hello, Jade. The Corseska is not going to do you any good. Feather Robe will, though. Then Annis, I'm going to go ahead and give her the Shakujo, which had been Tears. And then Feather Cloak, and really she's good to go as well. Let's see, Chain Guard, and then I'm going to go ahead and give her... Let's see, do I want better agility or a phone-on defense? That's really the question. I think I want a little bit better agility. So I'll go ahead and do that. We should be good to go. All right. Of course, if we want to, we can rest here as well. And I will go ahead and do that. Just to make sure that everything is good to go. The area coming up is not very difficult, but it's, well, it's not something I want to take in any way lightly. Then if you want to buy items, you can do so here as well. I don't really see that there's a whole lot I need to buy at the moment, but, you know, it's still there if you want to do something with it. See, the only thing I might refill on is, well, I've already got all my magic lenses refilled, and you can buy basic cooking equipment there, but you can't buy any rices. So if you want to do that, you'll want to go back and do it in, I think the only place you can actually reference right now are in Gave and St. Bina. So if you want to buy rice, you can do that there. But for now, I mean, that's pretty much everything we need to do here anyway. And we can't go over there and just talk to people. So what we need to do now is go down the elevator to, well, the bottom of Akzeriuth, so we can make our way deeper into the Miasma and then into Mineshaft 14.
Locrian Sergeant Grants! My name's Hyman. I'm the one who informed Grand Maestro Mose about the 7th Phone Stone.
Good work.
The 7th phone stone? Don't tell me it's been found.
We think so, but we can't be sure until we excavate it.
Tyr, please go confirm the 7th phone stone's authenticity. I'll go with the others and catch up to the Vanguard.
All right. Please take care of the villagers.
Welcome to yet another new area, Akzeriuth Mineshaft 14. This is a very, very linear area. It is virtually impossible to get lost, and virtually every side area that you see is basically going to be its own treasure path. So keep that in mind. You definitely want to fight the enemies while we're here, and I'm trying to cue the guy, but I guess he's not going to be cued. You definitely want to fight the enemies while you're here, because this is the only chance you're going to have to run across some of them. The first enemies we are going to run into are rock spirits, which are pretty well like the earth spirits that we fought before, just a little bit more powerful, I think. You notice 9,700 HP, so nothing to sneeze at or shake a stick at, but it's not really going to be terribly difficult for us. Especially if we can juggle them in the air like that, that'll definitely come in handy. But yeah, really, aside from anything else, this is pretty much the same sort of strategy that you want to embody for anybody else. Not particularly demanding, honestly. But Natalia did get void attack, that's nice. Now the bats were coming at us as well. Let's see if he'll actually engage me this time. Doesn't look like he's going to though, so oh well. We'll get to fight him later though. Steel Circlet, which would be good as an accessory, I believe. Let me try it out on Natalia. Oh yes, very good for the defense, and I will take that defense upgrade over to agility. Alright, so it works out very nicely. There we go. Hello, Batsies. You are, in fact, the poison bats, which, well, just like any other enemy that wants to spit poison at you, you'll want to be careful with it. It's a typical flying enemy, weak to, or resistant to light and shadow attacks if you have it. So Tyr's nightmare attack or anything like that is not going to do very well. You'll just want to try to keep these guys on the ground so that they don't come at you in the air and they don't come at you with, they don't come at you with that stinking poison breath like he just tried to do me.
Guess that does it.
I probably want to, actually speaking of Natalia, since Luke's out of the party, let me switch Natalia in for Annis so that we can have a healing presence if we need it. Well, during that last battle, Jade learned Flame Burst, which is really good. It's another one of his big elemental attacks. Definitely worth getting. So further we go into the Mineshaft, and like I mentioned, it's not a particularly complex area, so you're not going to find a lot of variety in here. It is basically Well, I mean, this is pretty much the terminus of what we've been striving toward this whole time. Alright, a carbine chamber, which is useful, and a lot of money, which is even more useful. But like I mentioned, this is pretty much the terminus of what we have been pushing for this whole time, so we definitely want to see if we can take advantage of this circumstance and be able to rescue the people of Akzeriuth. Our new enemy in this battle is the skeleton, and he looks kind of creepy, don't you think? The skeleton is resistant to physical attacks, which is unfortunate, but you notice he has a weakness for both water and wind, which, well, Jade has plenty of attacks to suit that, so you'll definitely want to take advantage of it if you can. And let's see, not really much else to say about the skeleton, to be quite honest. They're your typical physical type, and there's Jade exploiting that weakness. Good job, Jade. And you notice also they're not particularly strong, so again, not a big worry, really, when it comes to that sort of thing. But we do have treasure we can get to, which is Nocer Forte, another capacity core. Now this capacity core, as we will see with Luke, is very much more focused on phonic attack and defense. This is a better capacity core for Tyr or Jade, and I'm not particularly sure I want to give that to either of them, given that this one ups physical defense, which he kind of needs. Hey, actually the lower, wait, that's Luke, never mind. Good God, I was sitting there thinking, wait, he has a lower phonic defense? That is not correct at all. So let's shift over to Jade. He has a much higher phonic defense than he does physical defense, so I'm going to keep him with that. I can't really look at Tyr's stats right now because she is out of the party, so I will leave that for now, and we will look to see about equipping that later. For now, let's head further down and fight another bat. By the way, Natalia is pretty good for this dungeon. Because so many of the enemies in this dungeon are flying type, you definitely need her physical attacks in place, especially given that she can hit airborne enemies pretty easily. That will very much come in handy when you're here. Alright, I think there's treasure this way too. Let's see if, yes, okay, that's what I thought. And this is a treasure you'll definitely want to pick up if you didn't get some of the super items, because that is a halberd, which for what I have on Jade is not that good, but if you didn't get the chance to pick up any of the super items while you were in the desert in Castonia, that will definitely come in handy for you. Let's go ahead and move on this direction, and, well, we find a bit of a disaster waiting for us.
Hold on! We're here to save you!
Something's wrong. I don't see the Vanguard anywhere.
Not again!
Don't take another step!
Well, I wonder what that was about. Not really much else we can do right now, though. Just talk to people and see if there is anything that we can do about all of this. And as it turns out, there's really not much. All we can do is just go around and check on folks and see if there is any assistance that we can render. There's no treasure in this room. There's nothing to do as far as side quests or anything like that. Just go around and see about talking to everybody and see, well, the situation's pretty hopeless as it turned out, so all we can do now is just try to move forward.
Something's wrong up above. I'll go take a look.
Don't go any further! Stop before it's too late! Listen to me!
I'm not letting you order me around!
Hello, Van. Why are you hanging out right next to this door here?
You finally made it.
Master, there you are! Where's the rest of the Vanguard?
I have them standing by elsewhere. Phone Master, could I ask you to open this door?
A Dothic seal. So this is another Sephiroth. I don't think opening this will serve any purpose.
It will. It's necessary for the revival of Akzeriuth.
Ion, please. Everything will be okay if you do what Master Van says.
All right.
Stop, damn you! Don't go! Are you trying to destroy Akzeriuth?
What are you talking about? I'm just gonna neutralize the miasma here.
It's the same as the Zhao ruins in Shuri Hill.
Luke, this way.
I will note before we move forward, sorry I was given a moment to let you guys absorb the music, which is really nice music. This is the first time we've been in a place like this. We will be seeing the insides of these Sephiroths a good bit more in the future, but this is new. This is the first time we have experienced this, so just sort of take it in. There's really little else we can do except to move into the Sephiroth and see just what in the world Van really wants of us in here. It clearly has something to do with the Sephiroth itself. What could be at the heart of this?
Now, Luke, go down to that phone machine, the passage ring, and neutralize the miasma.
What are you talking about? Is that even possible?
Yeah, it is for me. I'm a chosen hero.
Tyr, what's going on?
Colonel, the Vanguard was wiped out. The Oracle Knights who captured the Tartarus ambushed them.
That explains the missing Vanguard. They must be trying to stop us from saving Akzeriuth.
No, they were waiting here under orders from Van to take me away.
What do you mean?
I went to verify the 7th phone stone. It turns out it wasn't real. But I was nearly kidnapped by Oracle soldiers when I went there.
Why you?
It's my brother. He wants to protect me from what he's about to do. Where is he now? He's trying to do something horrible.
Hey, do something about that Drek you call Luke, or we're all going to die.
It was him. Ash told me. There's no mistake. Van is...
Good. Concentrate just like that. Now, foolish replica Luke, unleash your power!
What the hell? Something's coming out of me.
Luke, listen to my voice. Now relax, just like that. When I order you to release your power, you will open every phone slot in your body and unleash a hyper-resonance. That same power you're using right now. The trigger phrase will be, Foolish Replica Luke.
Van is... planning to destroy Akzeriuth.
Finally proven useful, Replica.
Van? Damn, we didn't make it.
Ash, why are you here? I told you not to come.
Too bad. I also brought the sister you tried to save. Let me go! I'm going to die here too!
I'd intended to save Ion with that, but now I have no choice. I can't afford to lose you.
Van, I knew it! You've betrayed me! You said you were going to preserve these outer lands. What about the people of Akzeriuth, the Oracle soldiers and the Tartarus? They'll all be killed.
Hysterica, someday you'll come to understand the folly and ugliness of this world. I want you to live, at least long enough for me to see you come to your senses. You have the phonic hymns. Use them.
Damn! The tunnels are collapsing!
Everyone, come close! Hurry!
Master, thank goodness!
That is a very good question. What did just happen? And ultimately the answer is, well, yeah, Van was lying the whole time. His plan was not to help Luke, not to try to coerce him into becoming a hero, but instead to use Luke's power of hyper-resonance to his own ends. We're still not quite sure what those ends are just yet, but now we know for sure, for certain, that Michael McConaughey is in fact, just like in Suikoden 5 and the Xenosaga series, voicing the main villain of this game. So, what a shock, I know, right? If Tyr hadn't sung that phonic hymn, we'd have been dead as well. Yulia's phonic hymns are powerful indeed. Did we get caught in Akzeriuth's destruction and fall underground? Didn't anyone else survive? I'm glad Ion's safe. Is this the Cliffoth? I'd never imagined I'd come here like this. I'll explain in due time. Right now, I want to find as many survivors as we can. It's too late now. I failed to protect Akzeriuth.
There's someone there.
Daddy! It hurts! Daddy! Hang on! I'll save you!
Stop! That's a bottomless sea of mud and miasma. You'll die if you jump in there.
Then what can we do for that boy?
Let's try healing phonic arts from here. They might reach.
He's sinking!
No!
Mommy! Help! Daddy! Help! Is this place going to break apart too?
Let's go to the Tartarus. The emergency buoy is operational, and it's managing to stay above the mud. It looks like it will still run.
There's a place called Yulia City here in the Cliffoff. It should be to the west. Let's try heading there.
You seem to know a lot about this place. I'd like to hear an explanation once we're safe.
And under these unfortunate circumstances, we get to use the Tartarus for the first time as a water vehicle, or well, aquatic vehicle of sorts. It's pretty easy to use. I mean, it's not really much to it. It basically performs as you would see with any other ship. You steer it around, and, well, you begin directing it from there. Now, unfortunately, we can't, We can't really go much of anywhere at the moment. We can't land, so there's not really anywhere we can stop. So let's go ahead and head west to where Tyr said Yulia City would be. If you look on the map, there's, well, nothing here. As Ion mentioned, this place is called the Cliff Off. It is the world basically underneath the world, so to speak.
No matter how far we go, there's nothing in sight. Are we really underground?
In a way. The place you live is known down here as the Outer Lands, the world's outer shell. It's a floating land supported by pillars called Sephiroth trees that extend from the cliff off.
I don't understand.
Long ago, the Outer Lands were here in the cliff off.
Unbelievable!
2,000 years ago, the Miasma enveloped Aldrint and infected the land. That is when Yulia read the 7-part score, finding a way to escape destruction and bring prosperity.
Based on the score, Yulia proposed a plan to raise the planet's crust using the Sephiroth.
And that was the beginning of the Outer Lands. Huh. That's quite a story.
Yes, only maestros and above in the Order of Lorelei know, as do those born in the cliff off.
Then you're from the Cliff Off, Tyr?
At any rate, we've fallen down here. We were saved thanks to Tyr's phonic hymn.
Why did this happen? You said Akzeriuth was supported by a pillar, correct?
Yes, but that pillar disintegrated.
How?
I don't know anything about it. I was just trying to neutralize the miasma. He told me that if I caused a hyperresonance there, the miasma would disappear.
My brother deceived you, and you destroyed the pillar that supported Akzeriuth.
No, that can't be.
Van ordered you to stand next to the passage ring. Those passage rings are what produce the pillars. Tyr was probably right. I was careless. I never dreamed that Van would make Luke do such a thing.
I wish Luke had at least discussed it with us beforehand. Neutralizing the miasma could have waited until the residents were evacuated. Of course, there is little point in saying that now.
Yes. Akzeriuth is gone. Thousands of lives lost in an instant.
Are you saying it's my fault? It's not. It's not my fault. Master Van said... Yeah, Master Van told me to do it. I had no idea this would happen. No one told me. It's not my fault. It's not my fault!
Colonel?
I'm returning to the bridge. If I stay here, I'll just be irritated by some ridiculous ranting.
What's your problem? I tried to save Akzeriuth.
Ever since you lost your memory, you're like a completely different person.
You all couldn't do anything to stop it either. Don't just blame me.
You're right. I'm powerless. But still.
Ion, don't even bother talking to him. He's not worth it.
It's Master Van's fault, not mine, right, guy?
Luke, don't make me think even less of you.
I was stupid for starting to think you had some good in you.
Why? Why are you all blaming me?
Master, cheer up.
Shut up! What do you know?
A lot of my people died because of me. So, I can understand what you're feeling, Master.
Don't compare me to you! Don't compare me to...
I think this scene really is probably one of the most potent emotional scenes, certainly in the early game. I can kind of understand it from both sides. I mean, Luke is clearly naive and careless and stupid and deceived and all sorts of things. I think, though, especially given what ends up coming out a little bit later about Luke, I think the reactions of the rest of the crew were probably a little bit excessive. But that still doesn't absolve the fact that Luke was in fact responsible, and he was in essence trying to shirk that responsibility. I find it as a last note of irony slash, well, just incidentalism, I suppose, that the one who is most able to sympathize with everything going on is Mew, the one that Luke has abused and kicked around, literally, and mistreated this whole adventure, is the one who stays sympathetic and the one who can most identify with what Luke is going through at this most terrible of moments. I think this is actually where I'm going to go ahead and leave things, because next time on Tales of the Abyss, I want to go into Yulia City and I want to leave all of that together. So, thank you guys for joining me in this, really in many ways, end of part 1 of Tales of the Abyss, and I will see you guys later.